What's up, guys? Noah from Stage 3 Motorsports here today with my buddy Nick from MBRP.
Hey, everyone.
And we're going to be taking a look at MBRP's 304 stainless steel exhaust systems for gas engines. So we've got one in a box here on the bench. We're going to go ahead and pop this open, take a look at what comes in the box, and hopefully answer some questions that you guys might have about these kits. So let's jump right into it.
Yeah, this is the good stuff. I'm excited. Let's do it.
Right on. All right, Nick, so we've got the exhaust unboxed. It's laid out here. Can you kind of give me a rundown of what comes in the kit and what pieces we're looking at?
Yes, sir. This is our 304 4-inch exhaust system for an F-150 with EcoBoost. 304 stainless steel is the bee's knees, the top quality, as good as it gets. What that means, 300 series stainless means it has the lowest amount of ferrous content, or parts per million, inside of the raw steel that are not stainless. So a magnet will not stick to it. It will not show any surface rust. You could bury it with the Titanic, knock the barnacles off, and put it on your truck 100 years later and drive down the highway. This is the good stuff. The people that know the difference between good stuff and bad stuff, this is the house they come to. It's also going to cost you a little bit more. And by a little bit more, I mean double, like an AL kit. But it's totally worth it. It's still under $1,000. The Trump bump is real. This is the time to step up, in my personal opinion. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, and I mean, as you mentioned, so depending what you're working with and where your climate is, or if you have salt on the roads, whatever that may be, an AL kit might not be the right choice for you. You may want to consider moving to a stainless.
Absolutely. So the way I like to look at it, we have 4 different series, and I know that can be daunting, right? We've got our AL, our 409 stainless, our 304 stainless, and our black systems. When you are below the Mason-Dixon line, AL is cool, right? You get down south where the weather's fine, you can get away with it. You start getting up north where they start putting that slurry on the roads, you're going to have to get into a stainless steel system. If you're building a show truck, or if you're a very particular person and you like your stuff to look right all the time, accept no substitute for 304. You can put this on your truck, you can own that truck for 2 decades, and when you sell it, it will look the way it looked when you bolted on. It's the very best kit money can buy. So it's obviously my favorite system. And when people say stainless steel, I think this is what they're thinking about in most cases. No surface rust, no issues, lifetime warranty. There's a couple other key benefits because this is our premium system. Okay. This system actually comes with a louvered muffler. So I'm going to walk this up and show you guys. There's some louvers inside of there. And if I flip it around, you can see on this side, the louvers are facing a different direction. I bring this up because those louvers do 2 things. One, when facing this direction, which has got the opening towards the flow, it traps a lot more sound and makes the kit much quieter. 4-inch kits can be loud. People buy the 4-inch kit because they want to make the big horsepower numbers, right? This is the guy who's like, I'm going to make a 1,000 horsepower truck one day. That is my goal. This is the kit he buys for 600, 700, 800 horsepower, which is actually totally legitimate and doable with the EcoBoost motor, right? I mean, it's got all forged pistons and it's a serious power plant. But it can be loud. It can be really loud. If you're old like me, you know what I mean? Like you want to talk on my cell phone while I'm driving, drinking my latte, you're going to want this guy with the louvers to quiet it all down. If you want to get a little more rowdy, a young fellow like yourself, right? You flip it so the louvers are facing the other way, makes more power, makes more noise. I don't know if it makes any more power. Definitely makes more noise.
For sure. Now, obviously, this is a super nice looking kit, and as you said, this is kind of what people think of when they think of stainless steel. Now, the tip is going to be the main part that everybody sees. And what can you tell me about some of the details on this tip? How do you guys make this? What's that finish all about?
Yeah, this is also 304. It's polished 304, so it looks almost like chrome, right? You can see your reflection in it, sort of. It's rolled edge for a nice finish, and it's the largest possible opening you can get. Okay. It's got a bolt on the back, so it's adjustable. So if at some point in time you decide you want to put a black tip on it to match black wheels, you can do that. If you want to go with a larger or smaller tip, you can do that also, depending on the look. Exhaust is the only aftermarket item that is both an accessory item, it changes the look and sound of your vehicle, and a performance item, it helps you make more horsepower and get better fuel economy. So our customers are balancing those 2 things, or they're doing it for 2 different reasons. And so that's why having an adjustable tip that allows you to take it on and off is a nice feature. It also is embossed with the MBRP name, MBRP, Martin Barkey Racing Products. It's been around 25 years. We're a prime manufacturer in North America. There's stuff you can buy on eBay, right, that was made far, far away and is now subject to a 25% tariff. Sure. Or there's stuff that you can buy that's made here in the United States or in North America, or in Canada actually. And there's a patina that comes with that, like a pedigree, if you will. And the MBRP name says, I know the difference between good stuff and bad stuff, and this is the brand that I buy. You wouldn't want to wear an MBRP hat on your Tinder profile, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, too many swipes left, it'd be crazy. Couldn't even keep up.
So we've covered everything regarding the looks and kind of the sound and the feel of this kit. What's a guy looking at for installation here? Is this going to be something vehicle specific? Is there cutting involved? What's a guy going to be looking at?
So everything you need to install this kit, short of a set of Harbor Freight like wrenches, is included in the box. You've got your kit here with all of your clamps, hangers, bolts that you're going to need. You've got all the right flanges to mate right up behind the catalytic converter right here. The only thing that's a little more complicated, we have one part number for every box and cab configuration. So the good news is you're not going to accidentally order the wrong kit and spend tons of time shipping it back and forth. You are going to have to cut this pipe if you have a short bed, short cab. But it's very easy. I mean, it includes a tape measure. You figure out, we tell you specifically in the instructions at what length you need to cut it. There's enough play inside these expansions. You can actually see here to give you a little room in case you do mess it up. And there's a couple of these throughout the system. So it's really straightforward. It's really easy. You could do it with a hacksaw if you wanted to, although this 304 is pretty gnarly. You're going to want a chop saw probably, or a Sawzall
for sure to
cut that pipe. One other thing I'd like to point out, this is a cat back system, which means it doesn't affect any of the emissions equipment on the truck. It does make horsepower, it does change the sound, but it does not affect the emissions equipment, so it is 50 state legal. You simply bolt it on afterwards. It changes the back pressure, which gives you that, the performance benefits, but you don't have to worry about not being able to register your car or getting a ticket or anything like that.
So it sounds like this kit will work for a lot of guys' applications. There's a lot you can do with it. Now, let's say I've got this installed on my truck and I'm running it. Is there anything that I need to do with the kit as far as tuning or something to prevent a check engine light? Or is this a simple mod where I can throw this on as the only mod on my truck?
That is another great question, Mel. Yeah, you can install this kit on any truck. It could be your only modification. If you're I want to change the look and sound of my truck, I don't care about making any horsepower beyond that, bolt it up, it'll do that job, no check engine light, no problems. If you're going all out, you know what I mean? You want to put a bigger turbo kit on and make real power, sure, you can do that too. But this kit will bolt on all by itself without any check engine light issues.
Awesome.
It's also the gift that kind of keeps on giving. If you do a standard over-the-counter tuner, like an SCT or something, you'll get more power by having an intake and exhaust than you would if you just put the tuner on without freeing up that airflow, right? At the end of the day, your engine's just an air pump. So the more air I can get into it, the more I can get out of it, the more horsepower I can make, especially on a turbo application like the EcoBoost.
For sure. Now, one last thing, common question that we hear sometimes is, with a kit like this is a 4-inch system, but you guys have a few other sizes. People are worried that maybe the 4-inch is too big or that it could cause a loss of power. Can you kind of clarify what the difference is in the sizes or what that really means?
So the 4-inch kit is our largest kit, which is going to allow us to make the most horsepower, right? This is the big daddy of them all.
For sure.
Now, I'm a little daddy. I'm an old man with kids, right? And I want to tow my toy hauler without being annoyed. So I would probably opt for a 3.5-inch kit with an additional resonator, which is a little quieter for my personal application. But if you want to get out there and go for it, the 4-inch is great. Now I want to really hone in on one thing, is that people are worried about losing horsepower or torque because of loss of back pressure. We dyno tune every single system. We have an ISO certified dyno pod. We don't make anything that loses horsepower. You can feel safe you're going to make numbers on any MBRP application, or else you wouldn't come to market with it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a big piece of comfort for guys looking at these kits, because some guys are very performance oriented and some guys just like the look. But like you said, nobody wants to lose power on their truck. So
agreed. And so just to wrap up, you got multiple material grades, right? We talked about aluminized, 409 stainless, 304 stainless, and black. You also have multiple diameters. So you got 4-inch, which is the biggest, most ability to make power. You've got your regular 3.5-inch, and then you've got your quiet system, which is available exclusively at stage3.com, which has an additional resonator for guys who like to tow and want a quieter system.
Well, thank you, Nick, for coming in and giving us all the details here on these exhaust kits. For those of you guys that are interested in what this might sound like on your vehicle or want to hear some sound clips, we will put a link above that you can click where you can check out our full playlist on all the different exhausts that we've tested and get an idea of what it'll sound like on your truck. And we'll see you guys next time.